advises northern Uganda NRM youth leaders to focus their mobilization on peace prosperity. President Museveni mobilizes Chankwanzi farmers to start irrigation schemes. Parliament tasks government to produce further Sekabida in court. While Sports Club Villa assures members on UNRA compensation monies. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome once again to News Tonight. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has addressed thousands of voters in Kiboga district, stressing the need to vote for NRM to consolidate what has been secured in the fields of security, infrastructure, service and lay a foundation for the future. The Tuesday evening rally convened at Saza Grounds marks the third campaign rally of Yoweri Museveni in Greater Mubende.
When peace was ushered in by the ruling National Resistance Movement in 1986, it was not short-lived. It lasted.
The NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has campaigned in Kiboga district on Tuesday 16th December 2025. The Tuesday evening rally has been held at Saza Ground in Kiboga district. Dr. Kanundruth Nankabirwa, the NRM chairperson for Kiboga district, welcomed the president in her area.
Enjawulo ojja kugiraba tusubira nti abantu ensonga bakitegedde nti weeri lwaki tulina okukuuma bye tusoose okufunako.
The evening rally was attended by the first national vice chairperson, Alhaji Moses Chigongo, the second national vice chairperson, Anita Ntamo, women league chairperson, Audrey Kobusinje, and vice chairperson for Buganda, Honorable Cheune Haruna Kasolo.
Mukama wange twakanyiza wano mu Buganda, ffe tugenda kusooka kunoonya kalulu. Butuna malokanoonya ne tukakuwa mu bujjuvu mukama wange tujja kubanja.
Your Excellency, we want to thank you for tarmacking the road from Kampala to Kiboga, Hoima.
Others included the former Vice President, Dr. Gilbert Balibasekabu Kenya, the NRM Secretary General Richard Odwong and his deputy, Rose Namayanja, Ministers Alice Kaboyo, Godfrey Chiwanda Subi, Dennis Sozi Galabuzi, Farida Chibowa, religious leaders and members of Parliament.
Asobola gemakuru ga kalulu.
Museveni addressed the over 10,000 attendants of supporters who were fetched across Kiboga district.
Waliwo omuntu omu ngenda kumuyamba tubadde awantu n'agamba nti politics ziri ng'omupiira. Si mupiira guno. Politics kufa na kuona. According
to the president, the delays in the infrastructure development within this area has been caused about by many obstacles.
Abasekere baffe mu nkambi bakyali mu busiisira. Kulwaki? Kubanga tetuli balabe bansi yaffe. Ensi bwe batalina ssente ezimala entono eziriwo tugula mundu. Enyumba za gorofa zijira zirinda. Nowakasiisira akuba ensasi n'ofa. Kati kwe kulaba nti tusobodde okukuuma Uganda wadde tetulina ssente nnyingi. N'olwekyo eno gye tulaga tukiriziganye okusosowaza ebikulu.
However, Museveni says it is never late as the exploration of Uganda's oil will open a new chapter for the country. President Museveni reiterated the need to take up with creation. Giving an example of those who have taken up coffee farming, Museveni says the increase in production has earned Uganda billions of money dropping into the national coffers.
Ziri bukadde ndowooza 10 tunakyera okuweza 12. esente eziva mu mwankasi zisuse obuwumbi bubiri obwa dola edda twali ku miliyoni 4 eza dola.
And this has been President Museveni's last remarks to Chiboga voters.
Mwogere NRM kubanga NRM emaze okubalaga nti esobola nti yerina obuyinza okukuuma Uganda n'okugikulaakulanya. NRM oye! Omusajja omukulu w'enkufiira oye!
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Leaders and residents of Chiboga say that the calm ushered in by the National Resistance Movement in 1986 has endured and laid a firm foundation for growth. As the 2026 polls draw closer, they argue that protecting these gains they have to rally behind the NRM is the way to go.
When peace was ushered in by the ruling National Resistance Movement in 1986, it was not short-lived. It lasted, a virtue that has since made the people of Kiboga district proud.
Buganda is the most stable, secure area in Uganda. The battle that liberated Uganda started here, so we have an obligation and a duty to protect the peace we have in this country.
That we can now do our work, we can do what we want, as long as it's lawful, without being disturbed.
Surprisingly, Ugandans take peace for granted. When you look at Uganda, we have refugees from Congo, from Somalia, from Eritrea, and from South Sudan. Why? Because we have a president that has managed to keep Uganda in peace.
This is how socio-economic development was embraced, protected and sustained.
And Chiboga, it is another second home for NRM and His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. So people are very eager. They have benefited. Majority of them are beneficiaries of BDM and even other government programs.
The issue of development, 1 billion being given for our roads, which is continuing, actually 1 billion and then something more on top of that from the roads fund.
This is why the people of Kiboga have all reasons to join the rest of Uganda to vote NRM back.
So yes, the president is doing the rallies, but the grassroots campaigns are more and more robust, and we have activated our structures. It's going to be parish by parish, village by village, person to person.
Chiboga has expanded, the boundaries have expanded, so many other districts were carved off from Chiboga. So this is an indication that we are sustaining the development, the progress that we want to sustain as a party. So there are all other reasons why Chiboga district should vote for NRM, and in particular for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
As for the possible return of the 2021 opposition political wave, NRM leaders say the trend is different.
The elections of 2021 and today are incomparable in many respects. We did not have, because of COVID, we did not have time to come and canvass for votes. We did have rallies like these ones, where we are explaining to the masses what has been achieved and what promises we have.
The wave came maybe as a wake-up call, and I think people have woken up, the people of Buganda, where the entire country was yellow and then Buganda was red. And then so what? The government continued. The president continued to be the same president. He continued to appoint ministers from Buganda.
Secondly, as a party, we have made sure that in Chiboga, in this very place, we had the big rallies for Buganda Museveni, and NRM people came in big numbers.
The gains secured so far will be protected in line with the NRM campaign message. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Maiga, has urged politicians to uphold truth and justice in their leadership. He was speaking to the Democratic Party candidates led by Party President and flag bearer for Kampala Lord Mayor Roadship, led by Party President Robert Mao and Kampala Lord Mayor candidate Beatrice Nambi Mao.
The Democratic Party delegation was received by the Buganda Kingdom Minister of Information, Israel Kaziwa Chitoke, and his counterpart Noah Chimba. Democratic Party's flag bearer for the Kampala mayoral bid, Beatrice Nambi Mao, said her visit was anchored in her love for Buganda culture and heritage.
Kimanyiddwa nti omukulembeze yeegwanyiza ekifo kyonna alina okumanya emirandira gye mwasibuka. N'olwekyo nze ndi mwana nzaalwa ya Buganda.
Nambi Mao affirmed her commitment to serve voters of the city, regardless of political party, religious affiliations or gender, placing citizens' concerns at the forefront.
My slogan goes, your city, your say. We really need to voice up. We really need to be united so that we can take our country forward. Some of my 10-point programs, one of them is the infrastructure, which the particulars elaborated on, affordable housing. Our city is full of slums, 75%. People are badly off. I need to tackle the issue of waste management.
She pledged to bring Buganda, the city, and the Democratic Party to prominence.
The green initiatives, I think everything the king of our place talks about, it's in my manifesto.
The Democratic Party president, also Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, urged the people to elect capable and worthy candidates.
Has given an opportunity for our candidate for Lord Mayor to explain the rationale for her candidature. They need to take Kampala to the next level. The need for Kampala to stop hitting itself. They need to stop putting politics ahead of policies. They need to stop conflicts.
Minister Mao mentioned about their relationship with DP and the NRM, committing DP's collaboration with the Buganda Kingdom.
This is where issues are settled. In Buganda, they call it Okuchika Mbuga. If you have any issue, this is where you come to raise it. Then secondly, the King of Buganda has a lot of subjects and friends. He must have the capacity to support his subjects.
The Katikilo of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, commended DP's long-term relationship with the Buganda Kingdom.
Committed against Buganda or any other community by one individual shouldn't be used to define that entire community. I fully subscribe to that.
Mayiga urged the visiting candidates to prioritize and stick to the DP's motto of truth and justice.
DP's motto, truth and justice, is the foundation that is required for a united community, for a united country. Justice takes into account the peculiar circumstances of the different communities, the different nationalities of Uganda.
Democratic Party also delivered a 1 million Ugandan shilling certificate as Katikilo publicly urged the party to focus on the issues affecting Buganda. Amwae Vanjuko for UBC.
The Pan-African movement and the Sudanese community in Uganda have called on African leaders to adopt African-led solutions to African challenges rooted in unity from the grassroots. Speaking at a solidarity symposium, Sudan's ambassador to Uganda, Ahmed Ibrahim, warned that the invasion of Sudan could set a dangerous precedent for the continent.
Gathering sought to amplify voices against crimes against humanity allegedly committed by the Rapid Support Forces, also known as the Janjaweed.
So number one, we need to enhance the government system and the ruling system within the African states. Each African state has to have a functioning government that help to develop the human resources and then develop the country. Then we will have a strong military security system, governing system, and we have a development to the human and development to the other sectors that human depend on.
Leaders urged African nations to recognize that Sudan's fate is intertwined with the fate of the entire continent.
What is the African story and who is telling it? If the African story is about brotherhood, if it's about African development and African, securing the African place in the geographical and international sphere, then we would know that we are one. And so we would be able to sit down at the table and say which way Africa. And we say this way, we go that way. If someone disagrees, we talk about it. We don't have to pick the gun and shoot. If I don't agree with you, I don't have to shoot and kill you because you have a right to life.
We need to enlighten the masses because it's the people who have the legitimacy, who own the legitimacy of the state leadership or any government. So our people must be civically motivated, educated, and aware so that they can refuse or reject bad leadership.
Pan-African Movement Secretary Amanda Magambo noted that foreign involvement has worsened the humanitarian crisis.
By themselves, whether they are donated, whichever way they get into the hands of African people to kill fellow brothers and sisters, it matters for us to understand that that alone makes it not our war.
Participants emphasized the need to reclaim African sovereignty through unity and homegrown solutions.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education and Sports, Dr. Kedres Tuliagenda, says that the decline in life skills and values amongst children can only be dealt with if parents and teachers play a joint responsibility. Uwezo conducted a learning assessment on life skills and values between May and August 2025 on children below 17 years in the districts of Shema, Oyama and Kanungu.
Dr. Kedres Tuliagenda, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education and Sports, parents should reinforce values at home to complement what is nurtured in school.
The whole issue of life skills is again a joint responsibility between the school and the home. And so I'm happy that Ministry of Gender has developed a number of now manuals and booklets on parenting and other things that should help parents now know what to do as God gives them the gift of children. The curriculum puts, especially the revised curriculum, it puts bits on how to get values. But when you are in the school environment, it's as if you are learning to reproduce. And yet values are picked. It's not something we put in someone's mind. Be honest, no.
Uwezo National Learning Assessment Report on Life Skills and Values in children of 17 years and below reveal they are declining, calling for more emphasis on their early nurturing.
For young people to have the values that we are looking for, it's not going to come from out of the blue. We need to be intentional as a system or as a public. We are talking about the values. The values, and I think when I talk about values or ethics, every Ugandan would know because that is something that we are talking about. We are talking about corruption. We are talking about lack of integrity.
Emerging insights from Shema parents since Uwezo Uganda conducted life skills and values assessment and teaching them on better nurturing practices are promising with much positives.
Tugumire ntubagambira abana ko barayiheho ebizubu mbwene barabugane obe noko mu mashomera hibarabe bari ninga ambandu bantahi barabe bari kumana badyeyaho ebizubu nindebe byo hati biyone bicendera tibyakira byingo ko byabebiri
nyonka ntaka mwegesaga ntizo yozi konka obwa hati omwana naye yogeza kandi nakube sati tokusangaho karufa kona mweni ndeba ngogo musomo gutiyambere munonga
hatuwahika omucyaro kitu omumushomo gwo baguretire nureba ngo hariho empinduka mpango munonga ahabwo kuba echo buyonjo cyo nkikwatayo.
We hope that what skills they have acquired from these dialogues, that they can also use them to share with the rest of the parents in the communities.
For teachers, this means rethinking classroom practices. For policymakers, reimagining assessment and accountability. Crispus Adinitwe, UBC News.
Civil society organizations advocating for the rights of women and girls have called on government to strengthen enforcement of laws addressing digital violence. The call was made during an engagement held in Bukesa, Kampala, organized by members of the Feminist Humanitarian Network.
As Uganda concluded the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, activists were concerned about the rising abuse of women and girls on social media platforms. They warned that online harassment, non-consensual sharing of images, and cyberbullying have severe psychological effects on victims.
Digital violence is not just virtual harm, but it has real consequences on mental health, safety, participation, and equality inter alia. It enforces discrimination and excludes women and girls from digital, social, economic, and civil spaces.
We are also calling upon the government of Uganda, the laws that are being implemented in our country, other civil society organizations, religious organizations, private sectors to join us, and we fight the violence that is being spread in the country against women and girls online.
Farida Nabanja of Mpiji Women with Disabilities Association condemned the circulation of images without consent, while Naomi Mbareba of Wenotha appealed to parents to monitor children's online activity.
If you happen to get time in the evening, you can come back home, sit, and look at what your kid has been watching. What has she or what has he been watching, and for how long? If you happen to see that your child has been watching videos more than 2 hours, you can put some rules and regulations.
Naffe ffenna abakozesa omutimbagano, oyina smartphone, oyina computer, gezaako olabe nti nno okozesa bulungi essimu yo.
Tukowoola abazadde mwenna mufeeyo nnyo okubeera nga mumanya kiki omwana kyali mu kukola n'essimu eyo gye wamugulira.
The activists emphasized that ending digital violence requires collective responsibility under the theme Unite to End Digital Violence against women and girls.
Mukono District Deputy Chief Administrative Officer Stephen Muhumuza has appealed to the media to disseminate government programs and inform the public government's achievements. During a meeting at Mukono headquarters, Muhumuza regretted misuse of media by some employees who were ignoring government policies. The journalist complained about the unsocial behavior of civil servants who deny them access to public information.
What government has done, all of us know. The programs are very clear. When we talk about PDM, even a baby of 5 years now knows about PDM. We all know the impact the PDM program has created in our communities. At least each of us comes from a different community. And in that community, at least a number of beneficiaries have benefited. And in those families. Let's talk about it. A number of programs have been implemented. Now I'm talking from Mukono District Local Government. We have a number of programs, and under these programs, a number of projects have been implemented.
Building strong relationships with journalists, a partnership that is central to informing the public, promoting development, and strengthening accountability. The role of journalists about the role of media and local governance. Journalists are key partners in public accountability. Gatekeepers.
Your colleagues have written and written. I don't want to come out and speak their names, but you know that. They are now working. They are the reporting
Electoral stakeholders in West Nile have signed a peace pact in order to ensure peaceful elections. The commitment was signed by security bodies of the region, political party representatives, Uganda Human Rights Commission, civil society organizations, and the Electoral Commission.
Referred to as the Arua Peace Pact 2025, the peace agreement organized by Feminature Uganda ensures a free and non-violent electoral processes up to 15th January 2026 election day.
Alliance for National Transformation, I really want to commit that we reduce the amount of tension.
Asara Knight, a parliamentary candidate for woman MP race over Arua City, identifies monetization of Ugandan politics in fueling violence.
Everything is zero on money. Now the question is, how are we going to bring our Uganda back and to avoid personal attack and to talk about manifestos?
Arua City NRM chairperson Bakoko Bakoro says it is good if people from all regions of the country get to understand the political history of Uganda before indulging in political violence.
It's time we begin to understand our history. The whole 80s, we were in Sudan, Congo. So we need to look at our history and just stop shouting politics.
According to Bada Fred at VNG International, social media plays a critical role in promoting either peace or violence, a tool that needs to be considered seriously in a peaceful election. Security wings of West Nile promised to ensure safety of citizens. Samuel Mbalazi, the monitoring and evaluation manager at Women's International Peace Center, say there will be special rooms established by this organization in order to provide platforms for citizens to report election violences.
The Women's Situation Room has one of its early warning and early response mechanism, and we call it the Physical Situation Room.
Joseph Fodama, UBC News.
Minister for Energy Ruth Nankabirwa has assured the people of Buyikwe that government will address the power situation and urge them to vote President Yoweri Museveni to protect the gains. We have the details.
The Minister for Energy, Ruth Nankabirwa Sentamu, has assured the people of Buyikwe that government will address the power situation and urge them to vote President Museveni to protect the gains.
Okuyingiza amasanyalaze agali stable ku industrial park kutiteeka transformer egenda okufeedinga mu bantu olina okustepinga down.
She was presiding at the Buganda Museveni mobilization in Buyikwe district to boost the NRM party in the 2026 general coming elections. NRM supporters in Buganda are seeking to regain NRM support and seats in Buganda that were lost by the opposition.
Kuluno twagala okulaba President Museveni kululi yafuna 30%. Kuluno twagala President wafafune 70 and above. Njagala okwebaza bana Buyikwe abataddemu obwesigwa ne tubakolera emyaka 5 ne tukola project za government etusokera ddala nga project ya PDM etambule netuuka mu bantu. Weewaawo waliwo ebitundu ebitanaba kufuna ssente, but President tugenda kola ekisoboka mu kisanja ekijja okulaba nti buli muntu yenna afuna ssente za PDM.
NRM teams have been flocking to Nyenga Stadium to hear a message from the Buganda party's leadership on Museveni.
Minister for Presidency Micheal Babalanda has intensified campaigns for President Museveni in the Busoga sub-region, mobilizing women's groups to take the party message directly to households ahead of the 2026 general elections. We have details to this as well.
The Minister for Presidency Micheal Babalanda has officially flagged off NRM mobilizers from the Busoga Women Leaders Association and the Busoga Rural Development Agency across the 3 districts. The teams will conduct door-to-door campaigns to strengthen NRM support ahead of the 2026 elections. Addressing the mobilizers, Babalanda urged Ugandans to rally behind the NRM, highlighting the party's manifesto and the 7 gains of the NRM. She stressed that peace and security remain the foundation of all national development initiatives.
Era ndiko babalonzi baife, ba mobilizer baife, kubona nti
tunyweza NRM mu buyinza ne President Museveni.
Third Deputy Prime Minister and Minister without portfolio, Rukia Isanga Nakadama, encouraged the women groups to intensify grassroots mobilization, urging them to promote the NRM's achievements at community level. Youth representatives in the region have pledged their support for President Museveni in the upcoming elections.
Buli mumbeera tujjanoonya akalulu nga we keetaagisa okuboneka nga muzeeyi baba otutembeta kubasaawo eno bwe tuli muzeeyi taako wembeeredde entalo tunoonya mirembe.
Minister Babalanda also urged women to actively engage their communities by highlighting government programs that have improved household incomes, education, health services and infrastructure across Busoga and the country. She emphasized that women are a critical pillar in national mobilization, noting their influence at family and community level in shaping political choices and sustaining development gains. Minister Babalanda called for unity among NRM supporters, warning that internal divisions could weaken the party ahead of the 2026 elections. Local leaders and women representatives welcomed the initiative, pledging to mobilize support for President Museveni and champion key government programs, including the parish development model, Emyoga, and women-focused enterprise initiatives. The Busoga campaign forms part of a nationwide mobilization drive by senior NRM leaders as preparations for the 2026 polls gain momentum.
The program has met our expectations in that it has been able to give us business.
They gave us a contract where we did a renovation at their head office.
MTN trained us in their procurement process and also the IT technology.
I was struggling with managing the finances of the company. So when I went for that training, I was able to improve in financial literacy and management.
Are you a female entrepreneur looking to do business with MTN? Log on to www.mtn.co.ug/AWE. Together, our progress is unstoppable.
Kabogos, where are you coming from?
From NSSF.
NSSF? You came all the way from Namaguli to get NSSF services. Rekanawe. You work with the era. NSSF is now everywhere. Come on, I show you.
Come on, the Pakabanda. You can register for NSSF. How contributing your sim at the life? Never deep down in the Barara. Make NSSF payments. No Hala Okubekarangala. NSSF sure is not far. But tomorrow Kuhika Gotido. Enjoy NSSF from where you are.
Access NSSF services right where you live. With over 20,000 quick teller agents across Uganda, now you can conveniently register yourself, make NSSF payments and contributions to your Smart Life account, Jubira. NSSF, a better life.
This is our home, our land, our Uganda. From the rolling hills to the busy streets, from the farmers in the fields to the students in classrooms, we are one people. Elections are a time to choose our leaders, not to fight our brothers and sisters. When violence enters the ballot box, the future of our country is wounded. But when peace leads the way, our nation grows stronger. On election day, choose unity over diversion, respect over hatred, and dialogue over distraction. Love your country, protect your fellow citizens, stand for peace, and say no to electoral violence. This message is brought to you by the Global Election Observation Mission, GEOM, in partnership with the Uganda Electoral Commission. Informed citizens, strong nation.
Starting with 100,000 shillings, you begin building real financial strength. Because wealth doesn't just happen, you build it. And the ones who start early end up ahead. Every deposit, every month, every little increase. This is how your money grows into wealth. Put your money to work with the experts at SBG Securities. Partner with us today on your investment journey.
SBG Securities. Keep growing for you, for them, forever.
The Amnesty Commission law, which was passed in the year 2000, is still operational. Therefore, the Amnesty Commission wishes to appeal to the members of the ADF and LRA who have not yet taken advantage of this law to come out and embrace peace while this law still exists. When you give up rebellion, you will be pardoned and warmly welcomed, resettled and reintegrated back into the community. You can report to the nearest army or police unit, a sub-county chief, a local council official, a magistrate, a religious or cultural leader in your area. These people will bring you to the Amnesty Commission. The Commission has offices in Kasese, Arua, Gulu, Kitgum, Mbale, and the headquarters in Kampala. As digital platforms continue to expand, concerns over data privacy and cybersecurity are taking center stage. The National Information Technology Authority, Uganda, has engaged key stakeholders to discuss best practices in data protection, with experts urging responsible data handling and increased public awareness, while highlighting the role of communicators in safeguarding personal information.
The National Information Technology Authority, Uganda, has conducted a stakeholder engagement on cybersecurity, data protection and privacy. The engagement aimed at equipping communicators to safeguard data. Communicators, including members of the media, were identified as key players in sensitizing the public about their rights to protect, share or restrict access to personal data.
The biggest challenge we have met is how to get the message across the board. Most of the communication has been obviously on digital platforms, but we saw it important to engage you, because with your platforms that you sit on, you have a bigger base.
So facts inform, stories transform. You can give someone a fact, but because we need the message to hit home, we will use some stories, some scenarios to help you make sense of these things. So as communicators, I think the storytelling approach helps drive this message home much easily.
Cybersecurity experts highlighted the growing risks in the digital space and the need for institutions to adopt strong data privacy policies.
While everyone else was trained and everything is in place to protect people's information, if you're not well versed with these principles and how to go about people's personal data, you're causing trouble to the entire organization.
Stakeholders were informed about the rights individuals have over their personal information, including the right to rectification, restrictions on data processing for personal marketing.
First things first, get the policy in place. If you don't have one, that is it. And then if you don't know how to go about it, the DPR has been here. They've given guidelines on how they can support for you to have that policy in place, and then also regular reporting on your data protection processes and procedures, because the law requires you to do that you have your certificates renewed. So you have to report any acts that relate to data that could have occurred during the particular period.
Concerns were raised about institutions that operate without clear legal framework on data privacy and protection.
Your reputation as an organization is going to tank overnight. If it's out there in the news that, you know what, these people don't handle people's records properly, your reputation is damaged. Then there are also fines of up to 2% of your annual gross turnover. Then the particular individual that necessitated or facilitated the breach of the law can also be imprisoned for up to 10 years.
And if you think about what damage it can do to a country, it's important that we take it upon ourselves to be deliberate about communicating why this is important, both for people who are key stakeholders.
Participants were urged to protect their personal data by using strong passwords, being cautious online, and understanding data protection laws.
In more news, every woman of childbearing age deserves access to quality maternal health care, from early antenatal visits to delivery. To highlight this, gynecologist Dr. Hudu Ibanda emphasized the importance of antenatal care in reducing maternal and neonatal mortality.
Every mother deserves the best care from the moment she discovers she is pregnant.
Antenatal care, or ANC, is a vital service that helps ensure both mother and the baby stay healthy throughout pregnancy.
Visit a doctor. Why should they come as early as possible? Is that one, the tests that are done in antenatal, for example, the ultrasound scan, will tell whether the pregnancy is growing in the tubes or it's in the uterus, so that an easier treatment for that complicated pregnancy is provided. Then the other thing is that in case there are conditions we detect, let's say she has been having hypertension and she's taking drugs that are not supposed to be used by pregnant women, we stop them early. But also to go back to the ultrasound scan done in those early weeks, it's more accurate than those ones we shall do as she's nearing delivery time, in telling how old is the pregnancy she's carrying, so that in the future, in case we need to deliver her before labor comes, we know the size of the baby we are to get.
Regular antenatal visits also provides vital guidance on nutrition, safe exercise, and preparation for childbirth. They empower expectant mothers to recognize danger signs early and seek timely medical attention.
Tend to vary in terms of how difficult they will be. First and third, they tend to be challenging. Second trimester tends to be pretty quiet, where the woman is just gaining weight, has now gotten used to the changes of pregnancy. So unless hypertension and diabetes of about 20 weeks have come in most cases the pregnancy goes on smoothly.
Experts say that timely and consistent maternal care significantly reduces maternal and neonatal mortality rates. For expectant mothers, antenatal care remains a simple but critical step towards ensuring a healthier future for mothers and children. From improved maternal health and reduced risks during delivery to better newborn outcomes, antenatal care is a lifeline that benefits the entire family, and men are advised to support their women through the process.
Encourage your partners to come along so that we, one, educate you and them as to what's going on in you, the changes, so that as the changes are coming, the partner is kind of aware that, oh, they told me in third trimester the appetite will be this, in first trimester it will be that.
By embracing these services, households contribute to healthier pregnancies, safe births, and stronger communities. Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Stanbic Bank, in partnership with Kwesi Properties Limited, have launched a new housing development in Kasanje aimed at increasing access to affordable home ownership. The project targets first-time homeowners and investors, with Stanbic offering flexible home loan solutions.
The Kasanje development is strategically located with easy access to major roads and essential services. Bank officials say the initiative addresses Uganda's growing housing demand by easing financing challenges.
As Stanbic, we provide a wide range of home loan solutions, right from acquisition of land through to construction, whether you want to complete, buying property, and if you already have property, you can still release equity out of that property and invest. But today, allow me to focus on a unique housing solution that addresses typical challenges of Ugandans today. And some of these challenges include being able to identify where you want to have your house.
Stanbic representatives noted that affordable housing remains a major gap, and tailored mortgage products will allow buyers to repay in line with their income.
Now, this project is important to us because it speaks to one important aspiration for every Ugandan. You know, every Ugandan needs to have the opportunity to own a home. And I think we see that. You know, many times we go and we work outside in different places, and the home is your place of sanctuary. It's a place where you come and relax. It's unfortunate if that place of sanctuary, you find your landlord waiting for you to remind you that the rent is not yet paid. So I think the opportunity to own a home is so powerful and so rich.
The initiative underscores Stanbic Bank's commitment to driving sustainable development through innovative financial solutions.
We build safe, organized and sustainable communities. He can already prove that it is safe. I can tell you the fact that it's going to be very organized and sustainable. Why not?
Nals Bawini reporting for UBC.
Uwezo Uganda Open Data and Evidence in Education Day indicates writing skills amongst learners in primary is still low. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education, Dr. Kedres Turiagenda, says that it's key to prepare learners for lifelong learning where written communication is essential.
Uwezo Uganda Open Data and Evidence in Education reflects on issues associated with refugee schooling integration, foundational learning, children with special needs, and learning outcomes. The Ministry of Education and Sport says, despite government equipping teachers in teacher training institutions to nurture writing and reading skills, it becomes difficult to nurture better where the pupil-to-teacher ratio is high.
Like especially in the refugee settlements, the teacher-pupil ratio is quite high because the number of refugees coming in this country is high. And so one of the challenges is that there is a lack of individual attention to each learner in these schools that have high enrollment. But where the numbers are manageable, the teachers are able to support them. So under the early grade reading program and the early grade mathematics, the Ministry of Education will continue to encourage the teachers to put emphasis on the children writing skills because these are critical for them even when it comes to writing in the final exams.
Uwezo Uganda also reports from its assessment that learners who have technology at their disposal have higher literacy and numeracy rates, calling for more investment in technology sector.
Children who lived in households where they had technology or where children were also competent in technology, also their literacy and numeracy skills were a little higher. So the investment in technology and ensuring that our children acquiring also technology skills and digital skills is very important.
Uwezo Uganda has been carrying out learning assessments in children between 5 years and 17 years. Findings from the assessment continue to show that reading proficiency is still lagging behind when compared to numeracy.
The digital skills and the reading or writing skills are not really exclusive because one of the reports that we have talked about, which was conducted in 12 countries, one country did it at school level, but the 11 where Uganda is being compared, for example, and where we find that, yes, generally reading competences are low.
Crispus.
Blue Christmas is near. Spread the festive cheer all December with great deals right here. Shop online with Market by Momo. We deliver. Log on to market.momo.africa. Use the MyMTN app or the new Momo app to register and shop online. Market by Momo is from MTN and powered by MasterCard.
Power your moment. Techno, the global partner of AFCON 2025.
This season, Pearl Bank brings the magic a little closer with Purple Santa, spreading joy across our branches. Genuine laughter, warm interactions, and shared moments that remind us our purpose is rooted in the people we serve. From surprises to smiles, these are the moments we'll forever cherish. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from Pearl Bank, formerly Post Bank.
Civil Aviation Authority has appealed to government for 900 billion shillings in funding to revamp and modernize the country's aviation infrastructure. Among the priority projects is to construct the construction of Kidepo International Airport to boost tourism, completion of Kabaliga International Airport in Hoima to support oil and gas, and develop Arua Regional International Airport, with the first phase projected to cost 529 billion shillings. The authority has further called for regulatory reforms, seeking a review of its institutional role to enhance independence, strengthen oversight, and align operations with international best practice.
The Deputy Mayor of Entebbe Municipal Council is here as well. A round of applause.
Much of the developments we have in our airport facilities are generated from, the funds are generated from the money we get on our airport, mainly Entebbe International Airport. But that money is not enough to build other airports. So the maintenance that we do, upgrades that we do, we are really scratching so much from the revenues that are generated from one airport, which should actually be invested back in that airport in ordinary times. But because we want the other airports also to keep the standards of aviation, we have to come in. So we call upon the government. Yes, it is funding maintenance of some of those airports in a normal way, really. But major infrastructure developments need bigger budgets than we so far have.
So accident investigation was separated in 2022. So now you need to know who is managing it. Staff contingency. Is it one-man show? Is it 3 people? One is the leader, one are team players. Who is managing it? The law must set everything clear and make this unit very independent. Because when an accident happens, everyone is trying to jump out of liability. I'm not the one. And so if the accident investigation unit is not independent, it can give false investigation reports because of influence.
Government of Japan has reaffirmed commitment to support Uganda's transport infrastructure development to improve roads and railway connectivity. During a visit to inspect the ongoing rehabilitation of the Tororo-Gulu meter gauge railway line, the Japanese ambassador to Uganda, Sasayama Takuya, emphasized Japan's interest in strengthening transport networks in East Africa.
375-kilometer Tororo-Gulu railway rehabilitation project has reached Awoja in Soroti and is expected to reach Gulu station by February 2026 to link up trade connectivity between eastern and northern Uganda.
Tororo is the intersection between this line which we are rehabilitating and the one that is operational from Maraba. Some works have reached Gulu, some works are this side.
Uganda Railways Corporation Managing Director Kajuna Benon briefed the ambassador that once complete, the railway line will link Uganda to South Sudan and Democratic Republic of Congo.
This is a 375-kilometer project. The cost estimate is about 200 billion. Objective is to make sure that we reduce the transport costs from northern Uganda and to be able to link up with South Sudan. To also be able to link up with the DRC. And through European Union, we have got financing of the Gulu Logistics Hub, which is based in Gulu, and can only be operative when this line is actually reopened.
Japan ambassador said after completion of phase 1 of the Kampala flyover project, Japan is now shifting its focus to wider transport infrastructure development across East Africa.
Today I come to inspect the progress of the meter gauge rail. The reason is what we want is not only rehabilitating the infrastructure in Uganda, but in East Africa community. A railway and waterway and also the road and maybe the air also is a very important part of connectivity that we want to support.
The 200 billion Uganda shillings Tororo-Gulu railway line rehabilitation project is undertaken by the government of Uganda.
Uganda's Star Carbon has signed a landmark memorandum of understanding with China's Tangao to industrialize agricultural waste processing into biocarbon under the Nile project. The initiative aims to reduce carbon emissions while improvising and improving soil fertility and crop yield.
Biochar is produced by heating organic waste such as maize husks in low oxygen conditions, allowing long-term carbon storage and soil enhancement. Uganda generates nearly 10 million tons of agricultural waste annually, with much of it being burnt or left to rot.
Uganda being, an agricultural country, we see that, there is actually availability for it to be utilized amongst, the smallholder farmers and also the large-scale farmers.
Here we go. As we all know, biochar is essential in carbon removal, and Tongao actually has been engaging in circular agriculture with biochar in China for 6 years.
Star Carbon CEO Dan Bashir says the project will greatly benefit Uganda's agricultural sector.
Studies have shown, about 20 to 30% in yield increase using, the biochar. And then we're also looking at, creating jobs, through feedstock collection, supply chain, and also the pyrolysis operations.
Tangao's head of tech department noted that the model has been successful in China and is expected to yield similar results locally.
We are opening a new market potentially for export of biochar from Uganda, internationally. Every day we're getting requests from clients all over the world.
Technology is proven in China. It has produced a lot of good results. There's been a lot of scientific writings, research coming from China on how biochar-based fertilizer is actually improved the quality of food system.
TerraCap CEO Ken Kalunji added that Uganda could also tap into biochar as a carbon credit product for international markets.
That the country, Uganda, could actually be part of what is called internationally tradable mitigation outcomes, which is ICMOS, where you can sell to corporate companies like, big organizations like Microsoft and Google, but you sell to governments so that they can reduce their CO2, their level of CO2, and to meet their targets, their climate obligations by 2050.
Pauline Ongoyet for UBC.
Sports Club Villa has issued a full disclosure regarding compensation paid by the Uganda National Roads Authority following the partial takeover of the club's Villa Park training ground. In a statement released by club official Gerard Sendaula, the club revealed that UNRA compensated Sports Club Villa with 2 billion shillings, which was deposited into a fixed account. According to the statement, the funds have since accumulated through interest to 4 billion shillings. The disclosure follows concerns raised by John Mbazi, a club member who earlier requested for accountability and transparency over the compensation monies. Sendaula assured members and stakeholders that the funds are secure and remain intact, emphasizing prudent financial management by the club. The club reassured stakeholders that the money is safe and will be managed responsibly. On the pitch, Sports Club Villa continues to perform strongly and is currently third on the Uganda Premier League table. And with the good story from the Sports Club Villa camp, we come to the end of all we had for you tonight. My name is Micheal Lukomwa, and with the whole team here, we wish you the best of the night. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Under President Museveni's leadership, Uganda's healthcare system has been transformed.
Central Uganda, for example, benefits from a comprehensive and concentrated health system focused on prevention, diagnosis, and specialized treatment. The Central Region, which is the heart of Uganda, is the backbone of Uganda's healthcare infrastructure, housing over 3,000 health facilities, making it the most concentrated health services area in the country. Key districts like Wakiso are home over to 500 health facilities, including Entebbe Region Referral Hospital. At the top of this system is Mulago National Referral Hospital in Kampala, providing specialized care from advanced ecology at Uganda's Cancer Institute to complex cardiovascular procedures at the Uganda Heart Institute. Mulago remains vital with its specialized units like the Women's Specialized Hospital, serving as the critical referral point for the entire region and nation. The government continues its push for safe motherhood. Facilities like the Kawempe National Referral Hospital, which serves as a massive specialized maternal and neonatal unit, manage extremely high patient volumes, averaging over 1,900 deliveries every month, drastically improving safe delivery rates in the region. Central Uganda benefits from national health gains. Strategies like mass immunization, drives and distribution of treated mosquito nets has contributed to Uganda's life expectancy rising to averagely 68 years, while key programs actively work to keep the HIV/AIDS prevalence rate in the Central Region in check. The NRM government thanks for the utilizing facilities nearest to you for prevention and treatment and embracing all available these health initiatives. Remember, health is wealth. This message is brought to you by NRM.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning,